see here. Looks like we should be live. Looks like everything should be going according to plan. If anyone watching right now, if you can go ahead and let me know how the audio is coming in. If you guys can go ahead and see, or rather see, if you guys can, yeah, well, that one too. If you guys can go ahead and see just fine, not too much of a delay. If you guys can also go ahead and hear the audio, if it's coming in nice and crispy, some feedback would be greatly appreciated. Let's see, we got is Deal Gra. What's going on, man? Hey, bro, what's going on? Audio good? Good to know. Good to know. Got Levi Shumway, Crazy Jason. What's going on, man? What's going on, guys? We're going to get started in like a couple minutes, like 4 minutes, and then we'll like officially start. But yeah, how's everyone doing? How was everyone's weekend? I wasn't in yesterday, but how is everyone doing today, and how was everyone's weekend? Did you guys get to play this weekend? I'm actually curious to find out. Let me know. We're going to get started in just a few minutes, like 4 more minutes at 35. We'll officially begin. I actually spent the weekend out in Bakersfield this week. I was celebrating some first communion for a little girl that was on, I think she's supposed to be like my fiance's mom's cousin's daughter. I don't know what that would make it relation to her, but they're celebrating the first communion. So we basically spent all weekend up at their place out in Bakersfield. It was cool. I had a very good weekend. It was also my dog's birthday. She turned 2 years old. I made her a dog-friendly cheeseburger. I had to look up like recipes that was like, it's pretty simple to make. So that was fun. That was interesting. Let's see here. No, I don't play in summer. You can't gear up and absorb jewel cream. No, I get that. I get that. Big one in the house. Sup, Pope? Is Pope here? Mark Popejoy, is he here? Hey, Mark Popejoy, what's going on, my man? Big winner over here. Decided to go and just flex, huh? Let's see. Jim the Mad Viking. What's going on, dude? Shady, what's going on, bro? Banana Man VR. Nice, played some CQB. Good. I like what fields do you guys normally play at too? I'm also curious about that. Like, what's your like go-to fields? And are you more of an outdoor indoor player? Just curious to see what you guys say. But yeah, well guys, we're gonna get started in like 2-ish minutes. We'll go ahead and actually officially start, and we'll start answering some questions. And we'll get started from there. Do I play Airsoft? Like Gnarl's asking, what's good? What's going on, bro? I'm going good, doing absolutely great. How are you doing, man? Shady, do I play Airsoft? Yeah, I do play Airsoft, actually. Let's see here.
I know you eat, sleep, shit.
Eat, sheet, sleep, Airsoft.
I'm going to be sending you some pictures.
Yeah.
Make sure you show people.
Okay. Skype, right?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, guys, it's going to be like 2 more minutes before we officially start. You can go and ask your questions then. Militia ticket from Milson West in October. Gnarls, hey, militia ticket. Hey, man, I'll see you there. We might end up going NATO, so I might see you on the other side. But hopefully we don't come across each other. But if you do end up being the one to kill me, which is very likely to happen, just let me know. Hey, man, it's me, Gnarls, and I'll remember you from the stream. That'll be dope. I don't use a field. I just go up in the mountains with the homies. Honestly, that's pretty cool. I mean, as long as you're doing safely, right? Like, that's the biggest thing. As long as you, like, call law enforcement, let them know that you're doing this, and they're cool with it. Because, I mean, if law enforcement says no and they find you guys doing that, then you guys could actually be in trouble. That is potential for being arrested. But, I mean, does anyone realistically want to arrest someone for playing Airsoft in a secluded area? No, but still, you got to be careful. It really depends on the cop that's there, right? Yeah, guys, 1 more minute and we'll get started. Pugman says SS Airsoft and Team Airsoft are my home fields. Hey, good to know. I've heard a lot of good things about SS Airsoft. Shady, I'm a kid. Hey, man, no, we're not too young to get playing. You know, you can be super young and play Airsoft. Let's see here. Don't use field. Let's see, HTK Outdoor. Nice. I haven't heard of that field. I gotta look that one up too. There's so many fields too, like out like around the U.S. that I've always wanted to try. But eventually, hopefully, with due time, I'll be able to go ahead and play at every single field in the U.S. All right, guys, it is about 30. Yeah, it's 30:35 right now. Might as well go ahead and get started. Welcome to another episode of, we haven't really named this series, a storefront live stream, we'll call it for now. Welcome to another episode of a storefront Q&A live stream. And like the name suggests, this is a Q&A live stream, meaning that if you guys have any questions, I will be more than happy to go ahead and ask them. Again, it could be questions regarding Airsoft specifically, if you're looking for maybe recommendations, if you're looking for suggestions, like what kind of gear to get, what kind of gun do I need to get. If you want to hang out with the Mayo Gang, we got a lot of regulars. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces in the stream. You can guys go and more than hang out with them as well. But again, if you have any questions, make sure to go ahead and let me know in the live chat, not the comment section, the live chat. That way I can actually see it. Also, really helps us out if you put a letter Q in front of the question itself. That way we can more easily distinguish it, and it's a lot harder to go ahead and miss. It can still be missed. You are more than welcome to ask your question more than once if I haven't already answered it. However, please do not spam. Please refrain from spamming your question. No one appreciates that. No one likes that. And if for whatever reason, by the end of the stream, if I haven't able to get to your stream, to your question, make sure to go ahead and check out the following stream that we have going on later today, at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is going to be the No Flightless live stream, where myself and a guest discuss Airsoft, and I'm gonna be answering some questions on there as well. So, all right, without further ado, why don't we go ahead and let you guys know of all the stuff we got going on right now. Let's go ahead and screen share. There you go. Right now, we have a shopping spree giveaway that is scheduled for this coming Thursday, right? The prize pot is stacked right now. We're looking at $1,200. That's $1,200 that you guys can win. If you guys don't know how the shopping spree giveaway works, this is how it works. For all my new people out there. First of all, thank you for joining the live stream and viewing. It actually really means a lot to me. But you place any $20 order on airsofti.com and you will be getting entered into our shopping spree giveaway, which we host every week. The prize pot starts at $600. However, the winner of the last stream was not there. So that means the prize has stacked, and now we are looking at $1,200 that you guys can win. Another thing that I want to go ahead and show off to you guys, if you guys have been keeping up with our social media, you'll know that the MGC4s we've been eyeballing it. We've been making sure that, keeping a close eye on it, making sure that when it comes in, you guys would know. And I wanted to show you guys what we just got into the warehouse right now. Oh, I wonder if there's a way to expand it. There you go. There you go. Much better. Look at that. Look at that. We got the bronze version. We got the main shipment that just came in of the Mark IIs. So the two-tone with the burnt bronze. Honestly, that burnt bronze looks really good. I was a little concerned when we first announced we were going to be doing a bronze one that it was going to be too bright. That is perfect. That is absolute perfection. That looks beautiful. So we got those in, and let's see if we got the second picture before I go ahead and see it. Go there, and more pictures of that one. Yeah, it just looks good. Also, the solid black ones as well are also going to be part of that main shipment. So,
The silver one too.
silver one.
Unfinished.
It's not showing.
You just have to close it and look.
Yeah, let's see here. Just waiting for more pictures, guys.
How many is showing?
3. Yeah. There's more pictures on the way. I'm going to be showing more pictures to you guys as well. But yeah, we got the blacks, we got the black and tans, and of course we actually have the unfinished ones, the non-painted versions, those silver ones. Those are also part of that main shipment in. So we're going to continue shipping out. Pre-orders are going to be priority, so everyone that placed a pre-order for one, if you didn't beforehand, it's going to be shipping those out first. Those are going to be the priority, but they are currently available on airsofti.com's website right now. You guys can go and take a look for yourself. Again, they're right there, right? You actually, if anything, go on here. Airsoft guns, AGs, MGC4 section, AG. You can click that, and there are a ton of MGC4's options that are available. And some in combos, too, which is really, really dope. But, again, those are available, and even though they are discounted, you can get even more off when you use coupon code 20th. That'll get you an additional 10% off. So, you don't want to miss that. All right, cool. We got some more pictures. There we go. Wait for that to load. Yeah, take a look at that. The unfinished, unpainted version, so they're going to be just that solid like silverish kind of finish. Again, they're unpainted, so they're not going to have the base coat on, so they're going to have that sort of metallic, sort of silver finish to them. There you go. In case you guys, those are actually part of the shipment as well. For everyone that wanted one of those, they are going to be listed up on the website as well very shortly. We will be, most likely by the end of tomorrow, they'll probably be up. But yeah, that is super freaking cool. Super cool. Super excited that we got those in. But yeah, again, guys, if you haven't already, the MGC4 is the AEG to get of 2023. Hands down, the airsoft rifle that you want to own in 2023. Not only a piece of airsoft history, we handpicked what parts were going to be going in there, and honestly, the performance of that gun is absolutely amazing. Performs better than other guns, well above its price point too. So, just saying. Yeah, I showed up the pictures. That's the other.
Right?
Yeah, the unfinished one.
Just to be sure you understand what unfinished is, they have to put it together.
Yeah.
Meaning, the buffer tube
Yeah.
is separated.
Yeah. For those guys that didn't know that
It's not separated.
the part, it's almost like a Lego, just not as hard, not as many pieces, right? You're not going to be assembling the entire gearbox,
Yeah.
but the or the rail system, I believe, is going to be separated. The stock, the buffer tube is going to be unattached, and the pistol grip, that's on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pistol grip. Yeah. That part is on it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's meant to be taken to either Cerakote or Hydro Dip.
Yeah, yeah. Or if they want to run a plane, if you guys want to rock a completely plain like that, I mean,
Rusty look.
there you go. There you go. Absolutely rusted. All right. But without further ado, let's go ahead and answer some questions. I'm going to try to go from the newest questions first to the latest ones, if that makes sense. All right. Let's see here. So remember, guys, if you have any questions, make sure to go ahead and put the letter Q in front of your question so I can easily identify it. All right. Let's see here. See here, make sure to scroll up a little bit. Is dummy night vision worth it? This comes from Tactical. Tactical, dummy night vision is worth it if it's something that you actually want. Dummy night vision, like it says, right, doesn't actually do anything. It is a dummy unit. It is solely there for looks, to look cool as like a placeholder. I like dummy night vision because, again, I just think it makes the kit look a lot cooler. It kind of completes the look, right? You're going for that tactical aesthetic, but it doesn't do anything at the end of the day. And it's really all dependent whether or not that's that price point, that whichever unit you're getting is going to be worth it. Just bear in mind, not every single dummy, like some set of dummy night visions are compatible with every single mount. Just make sure that you are buying the correct parts for it, if that is something that you choose to do so. All right, let's see here. Make sure to scroll up a little bit. T Money 1394s. Hey Boaz, I am not Boaz, but I will try to substitute for Boaz. Hey Boaz, could you suggest a motor upgrade for the Lancer Gen 3? Already upgraded hop up bucking and battery. Okay, so like we said in previous streams, you can swap out the motor if you wanted to. However, typically it is recommended to go ahead and fine tune it more if you're going to be, even if you're just swapping out the motor. But if you were looking for a pretty good motor recommendation, usually I suggest with either going with, let's see here, 25. Usually like a 25K motor is usually what I would go with personally. Bear in mind, not all 25K motors are the exact same. Some do spin a little bit faster. One that's pretty good is actually going to be the Arcturus. The Arcturus, in my opinion, that is a fairly slower motor, but it will give you a snappier trigger response. You can also go with the CNC high torque motor. I think I misspelled CNC, even though the name literally spells it out. A CNC 25K motor, that one also works as well. G&G, their Eifert motor is, I believe, technically speaking, at 25K. It's supposed to be like that balance motor, but it actually like spins at a higher like rate than like some of the other motors as well. So any one of those honestly will do you fine. It really just depends on what you're looking for. Personally, I like the Arcturus and the CNC production ones, and they're not too expensive either. Okay, this one's for Mikey Yakiniku as, hello, I'm brand new to Airsoft and recently picked up Tokyo Marui's 1911 Foliage Warrior Gas-Blower pistol. Hey, not a bad choice actually. I love the 1911. Do you have recommendations for additional magazines? Yes, actually. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be based on your budget and also like what color. So I mean, if you're looking for a solid, let's see, 1911 magazine. One of my favorite magazines to recommend typically for 1911s, as long as you're going with the standard TM single stack specification style or spec mags, they'll, technically speaking, all work. I mean, if you want to save yourself some money, you can get yourself you can get yourself something like one of these guys, right? You get yourself like a Golden Eagle one, $27. That ain't bad, honestly. And it comes in silver, which is pretty cool, and they're pretty basic magazines. If you wanted something else, you can go with an extended one. Yeah, we have the actual Tokyo Marui brand extended magazines as well. So, for example, if you wanted the steel one, right, that sort of like stainless steel kind of look, you can go get one of those guys for $48, and it's a 40-rounder extended magazine, which for 1911, that's actually really good. You can also get the solid black version if you prefer that as well. That's one's going to be retailing for $45. Remember, you can get these guys cheaper too. Use coupon code 20th for 10% off that purchase. Or technically speaking, for this one, you know what? This is actually, I would consider this an accessory, actually, because this is a magazine. I would consider this an accessory. Use coupon code 20BD and you get 20% off. Big brain move. IQ 10,000. All right. Let's see. Let's answer some more questions. Cool Nails asks, dream platform companies would make an airsoft gun out of? Question to everyone as well. That was actually a very good question. We've actually talked about this in podcasts, but One dream gun or platform that I would love to see companies make would actually be an SKS. I would love to see like if LCT or hell even like freaking oh my god, what is it? Like if Kalashnikov USA like Lancer were able to make an SKS AEG, or maybe later on in the future, right? If potentially VFC or some other company, maybe even GHK, though it would probably cost a premium, maybe like a gas blowback SKS would be absolutely nutty. I would absolutely love to see an SKS. Other platforms that I would love to see more of. I think that's sort of the biggest one. The SKS is the biggest one that comes to mind, honestly, at the moment. Yeah, I think that's probably the best one, honestly. Maybe I would like to see more, like, again, a resurgence of World War II guns. I know they are made, but not as much as they used to be. I would love to see a resurgence of World War II guns, honestly. That's, like, the biggest one. Like, I want to see, again, like, BARs being mass-produced again. I want to see Thompsons, like, good AEG Thompsons being made. Honestly, I like what A&K is doing with their M1 Garand. I think that one is solid. I think that one's good. A lot of people that I know who own it say it's solid as well. But yeah, just World War II guns as well. The M3 Grease gun, seeing that come back, that'd be dope. Let's see here. This one comes from Levi Shumway McLaren. How much does a fully maxed out Airsoft AR cost? Well, Levi, it depends on what type of like built out you're referring to. Are you like when you're talking about like the internals? Even then, if you're just solely talking about the internals, right? Like and externals are solid and plain. It depends on what internals went into the gun as well, right? What type of setup were you going for? Were you going for something like an SPR, almost like a DMR type of build, where you're focusing more on long range? Or were you looking for like a high speed build? Really depends on what it is that you're looking for. Usually, if you were interested in that, I would actually say, if you want the best, and I mean like the absolute maxed out for like best performance all around, you honestly cannot go wrong with the custom guns. Now, there's two types of custom you can get. You can either get the custom Storms, right? The Storms are going to be all of these options right here. Again, you can just click on Airsoft guns. You go to Airsoft GI custom guns and hit the Stormline. The Stormlines are like top of the line premium stuff that you can get, right? These things have absolute like, these are monsters, right? And honestly, considering the performance level that they're achieving, these are actually really affordable compared to what you would normally be getting, right? But if that's still not enough for you and you want to go absolutely insane, go with the Typhoon. The Typhoon is the best of the best. This is literally as good as an airsoft gun can ever get. This thing is insane. For example, yeah, the custom MCMR Typhoon M4 AEG, $1,500, but honestly, worth it. Worth it with the amount of like R&D that we put into this guy. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. But yeah, it depends on what type of build you're looking for. It can really depend on like what parts went into it. That can really jack up the price or lower it, depending, right? Jim the Mad Viking, what is that tan sniper behind you on the right? That one. Oh, I can't grab it. I forgot. I can't grab it. That one, I don't remember the M7. No, god damn it. I don't remember the name. I'll come back to you on that one. It escaped me for a second. I'm gonna come back to you with it. I don't know the exact manufacturer of that one. I want to get back to you, and I will answer that question. But I completely forgot. It's in there. It's in there. I'm pretty sure is that the Shytech. Is that the Shytech? Because I believe that one is actually like shell ejecting as well. Like very similar to like a lot of the other shell ejecting guns that you would get, where you one BB per shell, right? But I don't exactly remember the exact model name. I will get back to you on that one. It's in there. All right. Joe Mata, have the MGC4 Mark 1 Enhanced started shipping yet? So we originally did start shipping those out. However, the Mark 1 Enhanced was supposed to be part of this main shipment. However, we were informed, unfortunately, last minute, right, that they were not part of that shipment, and we did not get them in yet. Those are on the way still. We will be getting those in shortly. To everyone that pre-ordered one of the enhanced versions, the Mark 1s, do apologize for the delay, but again, we are keeping tabs on it. We will be getting those in eventually. And as soon as we do, we're going to be shipping them out ASAP. Okay. Jai Lather, what does the GI in ASGI mean? So, GI is supposed to be like general issue, right? Right? GI. That was kind of the whole play on words, airsoft. All right, let's see. Make sure I'm not saying anything. Someone asked, like, Laggy Landon. Yeah, you were asking best face pro. Laggy, it really depends on what it is that you're looking to protect, right? There are some goggles that are really, really great, but they don't offer much protection for anywhere else on the face, right? Like, let's see here. Let's just give you an example. Vulcan goggles. Right. This is a pair that I typically run myself. Yep.
Sorry.
That was up.
So I just want you to get the information correctly. Okay. Ask people if they can hear us.
No, they can.
No, because when you turn away from the mic, they actually cannot hear.
Can you guys hear me if I go like this?
We double check how many people ordered the MK1. There are 10 of them. Factory. Okay, so whoever there was a manager that we were working very closely with. I'm not gonna name the name. You
Sure.
probably know who it is.
Sure.
Okay, he left the company late May.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm talking about. Okay? So prior to that, he was supposed to follow up on all our special projects.
And he did not, I'm assuming.
Right, because when this got loaded in late April, they did put in the order.
Mm-hmm.
We're still trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Lancer is trying to figure out what happened, but we're not gonna blame somebody that already left the company.
Yeah. There's no point.
From the last conversation we had with them, it was supposed to be in this container.
Yeah, it was supposed to be in the main shipment.
Okay, so their boss knows they're scrambling because once everything get unloaded, because on the packing like the manifest and all that kind of stuff, it's just a special project gun, so it's all there. They have to count it out.
Yeah.
So Lily's there right now. That's why you're getting those pictures. And it's not because they're on a separate way or all that. We're gonna figure out what happened.
Yeah.
And we'll be contacting every single customer. That's why we already have the items removed from the website. Yeah. According to them, it's supposed to be in this, but upon further examination, it's not there. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus.
Yeah.
Okay. But we gotta take care of our customers first.
Yeah, of course.
Right, so we will contact them and we'll figure it out because they still gonna try to figure out what happened tonight. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So that is the information. It's not because it's still on the way or not. Just stop saying that.
Okay.
I want you to understand. So the MGC4, we're gonna contact all the customer. Okay. We'll figure out what happened once Lancer give us, like a clear explanation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you heard it there first. We're going to try to figure out, again, we're going to contact every single customer that ordered one and with an answer. Because, again, we're trying to figure out what exactly happened there. All right, let's see. And, guys, if you guys haven't already, be sure to go ahead and give a thumbs up to the live stream itself. Really helps us out and beat that YouTube algorithm because YouTube really, really, really does not like airsoft guns. Even though we say that it's airsoft, they don't care. They really don't like us. And also go ahead and share this video too with anyone that you know that might remotely be interested in airsoft. Maybe he wants to get into the hobby but not too sure where to go ahead and start. Go and let him swing them my way. But going back to the original question, set of goggles like this is cool, right? I run something like this, like these Zulus. But if you notice, they don't cover too much of the face itself, right? So it leaves a lot to be exposed. So having something that's going to be like maybe cover more surface area might be your style. Again, really depends on the individual person, right? As long as they're good quality, they're ANSI rated, then that's pretty much all you really need at the end of the day. But again, if you want something more specific, by all means, we have plenty of options available online as well. Okay. Mikey Yakiniku, what happened to the release of KWA's Q10? It's similar to KWA's legendary Ronin T10, but after tracking it for a year or so, they finally announced it as out of stock on retailing sites. Not too sure on that one, Mike Yakiniku. Not too sure as far as like the Q10. Yeah, like I just haven't gotten too much information about it. All right, let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing any more questions. Laggy answered that question already. Let's see here. Sniper M Spears. Best Face Pro of 2023. Answered that one already. It's an AG. Okay, this comes from Daniel Torres. Again, guys, if you have questions, make sure to put a letter Q in front of the question in the live chat so that way I can more easily see it. Just by asking a question, sometimes it can get lost. MP7 AEG, worth it, or do they still have issues? MP5K. The MP5 or no, MP7 AEG, I know originally did have issues. Let's see if we have it currently on our website. I don't think so. I know we have the gas blowback version, but let's see if the AEG one. Yeah. AG we still have available. Good. The AG is cool, right? And I think most of the QC problems that they had were fixed. But you have to also bear in mind that that is a proprietary gearbox, right? So it is anything proprietary is going to have its own set of issues, just like any other gearbox. The main downside is because it is proprietary, not everything is going to be readily available. It is essentially, when I look at that gearbox, that really reminds me of like an AEP. Now, granted, it performs a lot better than your standard AEP, obviously, right? Especially at that price point. But you know, it is going to be a proprietary. It's not something. It's not the most easily upgradable thing in the world. The MP5Ks, my biggest problem with the MP5Ks was battery space overall, but I don't really have an issue with the MP5Ks. I believe most Ks, from what I remember, are going to be using a version 3 gearbox, so those are upgradable as well. They have upgrade potential. Okay, let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, I answered that one already. Okay, this one comes from Levi Shunway McLaren. Again, another good question. What should you get if you are on a budget? Depends on the budget that you have, right? So, for example, if this is going to be your first airsoft gun, right? Like your very first airsoft gun, if that's the case, usually I say have a budget of around, you usually want to spend is like 150 to about 250, right? Just bear in mind, the less and less you spend, typically, the less features you might get out of the box, maybe the less goodies you get out of the box. Like the gun might not come included with a battery charge. Some might, very well might. Not the best battery charger in the world, but you know, enough to get you started. But many of them that are sub $150 might not come with everything that you need. Usually my go-to brand always has been, like, for something out of the box, has been, for the best bang for your buck, probably Lancer Gen 2, right? You can find those, again, just look up AEG, Lancer Gen 2s, right there. I also like Classic Army Skirmish rifles. Those are very, very attainable, usually under 240, and they come included with a programmable MOSFET or ETU. I think those are really, really cool. You can also get an Arcturus as well. They make plenty of decent rifles as well. Here, let's go here. AEGs, Arcturus. I'm just going to type it in. Arcturus, right? You want to type one of those up. And they sell plenty of different guns and many different price points too. So if you wanted something a little bit higher end, maybe you wanted to get some more features like a full metal built gearbox or full metal airsoft gun, yeah, absolutely. It really depends on what it is you're looking for. Let's take a look at this NYO2CQ, for example. People know that this has been like one model that I recommend a lot. I like this length. It doesn't seem like it's too long for indoors, but it's not too short to be played in an outdoor setting. It's just right, that kind of like 10-inch outer barrel. M-Lock rail system. It's going to be using a polymer upper and lower receiver, so it's very lightweight. Micro switch trigger pre-installed. It's going to be a very satisfying click of the trigger every time you pull that thing. And honestly, this thing slaps right out of the box. You don't have to do anything. And for $214, that ain't bad. And again, you can get that even cheaper when you use coupon code 20th. You get an additional 10% off, right? Just throwing that out there. But yeah, it really depends on what it is that your budget is and what you like. But for the budget to have, I usually say anywhere from $150 to $250. That's just me though. If you have more, by all means. Hey, if you have like $300+ to spend too, if you know you're just a baller, I would say personally, you might as well go ahead and pick up the best airsoft gun of 2023. Just saying, you might as well pick up the MGC4, whether you pick up the Black Mark II or the Black and Tan version. Either or, you're gonna be really happy. Let's take a look at that one more time. Just, oh, so nice. I'm probably gonna pick one up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna pick one up this next paycheck. Like, it's just that good. It looks so beautiful too. Like, it's just such a good looking gun. All right, let's see here. Let's go and answer some more questions. Okay, the Pluggy asks, does an airsoft shotgun hurts more than another? I think that's, yeah. Does an airsoft shotgun hurt more than another? Or any other? An airsoft shotgun, I guess it depends, right, on like what we're like the details of like the shot itself, right? How close was I? Again, what gun are we comparing it to? I think that for the most part, most airsoft guns like will generally hurt about the same. Not unless, again, I feel like it mostly depends on distance for me and the airsoft gun itself. Like, if you have a gun that's like shooting real hard, right? Shooting real hot, like 500 plus FPS, and you're shot like pretty close, like from me to the computer screen itself, that's gonna really hurt, like really hurt, and that can draw a little bit of blood, I would say. I have a few scars from shit like that that's happened. It wasn't even on purpose. It's just accidental, right? Accidental pull of the trigger, and I just happened to be right there. But nothing that you honestly can't shake off with a gas shotgun or an airsoft shotgun in general. It depends, right? If it's like a tri-shot shotgun and all three BBs happen to hit their like mark, oh man, like that does hurt quite a bit. I won't lie. That's left quite a big mark on me in the past before when I've been hit literally with the Triforce of BBs, right? Just hitting me all at once. That one sucked. But I mean, again, nothing you can't really shake off, honestly. Eli Red, what is the best outdoor gun for around $300? MGC4, man. You know what I'm gonna say? MGC4 Mark II, baby. And again, you can get that in black and tan, or you can go ahead and get that in the solid black. We've put out several videos showing off the performance capabilities of the Mark II, and we actually have on our main YouTube channel have the full review of the Mark II. If you guys haven't checked that out, please go ahead and do yourself a favor, check that out, and come back here and order yourself a Mark II, and use coupon code 20 to get 10% off. Again, you're gonna be saving yourself a little bit of money there. Do it, worth it. Like, everyone that owns one right now is like super happy with theirs and super stoked. So don't miss out. Let's see here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, this one comes from Dilgra. Is the $100 for 20 entries only during Cisco's stream? $100 for 20 entries. No. So later on tonight, we are going to be doing a promo for, I guess we don't mind spacing. Later on tonight, we're going to be doing a promo for my live stream, the No Flightless live stream, where if you buy an airsoft gun, you'll be getting 20 entries in the shopping spree. That's going to be for the No Flightless live stream. That's going to be for a later live stream tonight. All right, let's see here. Okay, make sure I'm not missing any more questions. Okay, that's nice. Okay, we should be caught up on those questions. Let's go scroll down and get caught up on the most current questions. Okay, this one comes from Jake B. Where do you think Airsoft would go /B if Airsoft was advertised on more general public media platforms rather than having to search for Airsoft guns and word of mouth alone? So Airsoft, like as a whole, like is like we like retailers, distributors, and even manufacturers to an extent, right? Will post on social media as well, but I will say it is very difficult for the posts to have like as big of a reach as we all hope, right? That is a very big like struggle point for many people in the airsoft industry, right? Because you want to post more, but again, like it just doesn't seem to favor sharing, or like whatever platform you're on doesn't really seem to be in favor of sharing your content. If, however, that wasn't the case, I feel like Airsoft would be even more popular. I definitely feel like right now it's getting a little more popular. It's gaining some traction, not a whole lot, but it is gaining some traction, right? And I feel that's the no part like due or in that's the reason why it's getting like so popular right now. I feel like again, like, 'cause social media is making it a lot easier and more accessible to find all this information. I feel like we are helping them in that front. We are trying to make a lot of this info more readily available to you guys. We try our best to, answer these questions and also post the information too online as well. But if it was advertised like on social media and it had the reach that we wanted to, I feel like Airsoft would be way more popular. It would be way more mainstream than it currently is. Like, it would get to a point where you would tell someone like, "Oh, do you have any hobbies?" And you'd say, "Oh, I do Airsoft," and they would probably say, "Oh, I know what that is," right? It would probably get to that point within like, I don't know, maybe like a year or two, right? If Airsoft was able to have the same reach that other content does on social media. I think so, because Airsoft is fun as fuck, man. Like, it really is. Airsoft is a super fun hobby that you can be into. And it's one of those things that's, like, I would say it's very easy to get into. There's not a huge slew of, like, prerequisites that you need in order to really play, right? You don't need to look a certain way. You don't need to dress a certain way necessarily. You can wear whatever it is that you want to wear. You can rock whatever it is that you want to rock, as long as it follows the rules, right? And that's about it. Like, it doesn't really take much to go out and just play, honestly, which I feel like is one thing that's really cool about this hobby, as opposed to like something like gaming, right? To an extent, right? If you want to do like PC gaming, you have to build out the rig itself. And then there's a constant like maintenance of like swapping out parts almost every year, right? Everyone that I know is that like PC games like has to constantly change out parts every single year versus like console games, right? And even that's a whole other rabbit hole. But or even cars, right? If you want to get into cars, cars are expensive, man, and so can parts. They can definitely be expensive. I mean, if you know a guy, cool, but overall, it's an expensive ass hobby to have. And I know because I'm trying to rebuild a car right now. But airsoft is just one of those things where it's like it's very easy, and for the most part, it is a very attainable hobby to get into. And that's why I love it so much, because you can see so many different players from so many different backgrounds play this awesome, awesome hobby slash sport, if you want to treat it like a sport, right? It's just cool. I think it's a really, really cool unifying hobby that everyone should be able to get into. Okay. This one comes from Alvin11. Question, Zion R15 or MGC4? They both have a MOSFET. Also, you do a No Flightless stream tonight. I am doing a No Flightless live stream tonight, guys. If you guys don't know, I actually have a regular show every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time called the No Flightless live stream. I am indeed doing that. I actually scheduled that one out already. It's should on to be on our main YouTube channel. You can check that out as well later on tonight. But no, I am doing both. I just wanted to go ahead and do a Q&A today as well. Figured might as well, go and hang out with the Mayo Gang. But to answer your question between the R15 and the MGC4, okay, MGC4, but the R15 is not a bad choice at all. If you're looking for, again, I consider the MGC4 Mark II a kind of a custom if you think about it, right? Because we got to handpick like what parts actually went in there, right? Air compression is going to be a lot better than just your standard Gen 3, and it's better than the R15, right? It is built so damn durable inside, right? All those internal parts are put in for a reason because we wanted to get the most efficient build that we possibly could, right? Versus the R15 where it was already a manufactured gun, right? It was already something that we didn't like build that one the same way. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't something that we had a hand in developing every single component, right? Yeah, sorry, I just have to go ahead and answer. But yeah, like that, between the two, if you were looking for the best, like just best overall, I would probably say the MGC4 Mark II. That, and I actually like the aesthetic of the MGC4 Mark II a little bit more. I feel like it's a little more plain, a little more Mayo, if you will. But that's because I do a lot of like the Milsim scene. So I could see that being used more in like my side where I do a lot more NATO stuff. But the R15, I could totally see that being used by a civilian or like militia, a Gucci'd out militia, or but I mean, you could totally do that in a civilian role, right? It's probably the best looking, objectively, because that finish on the R15 is gorgeous, man. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's fast as fuck too, stock. I'm just saying, but if you want the absolute best, I would say personally go with the MGC4 Mark II. And guys, if you're anyone new, make sure that you put a Q in front of your question. I want to go ahead and try to answer as many people's questions as much as I possibly can. I'm trying to go ahead and I want to do these streams. The whole purpose behind these streams overall is to go ahead and try to help you guys as much as I possibly can, right? Yeah, we may have different opinions maybe in some regards, but overall, my goal is to give out as much information as I probably can. I've been playing for 13 years. I've seen a lot of different stuff in the airsoft community, in the airsoft industry. I have experience working behind the scenes in the industry. So I try to give out as much information as I can. And you saw Boss Man come out back here as well, talking to you guys. We are like as transparent as we possibly fucking can be, way more than I would say like other retailers, because again we've said some stuff that other retailers would never have even considered even like disclosing with their customers, but we try to go ahead and do that because we know you guys will appreciate that. Want to go and help out as many people as we possibly can. Okay, let's see, I'm scrolling up, making sure I'm not missing any more. Jim the Man Viking, you say ask anything, so I asked where babies come from. Why didn't you answer? Okay, Jim the Mad Viking. When a mom loves a dad, okay, I'll put it this way. When a mom airsoft gun loves a dad airsoft gun a lot, they love each other a lot. They just kind of mash together and then a baby airsoft gun comes out. There you go. How about that? Does that answer your question? Okay, let's see here. Dil Grai plans to stock TM high kappas. Yes, yes, we do. We typically try to restock TM high kappas as much as we can. It just depends on how much we can get. Marui high kappas, and we know it's a popular gun, so we're typically gonna restock all the different versions. Just a matter of like getting them back in. Let's see, which ones do we have available currently? Also, guys, too, like another thing I also should go ahead and point out as well. The point of the Q&As obviously is to help people, like I mentioned earlier. If you guys like aren't enjoying the stream too, you can also just leave. A couple times I forgot to address this a little while ago, but we had some trolls on, like I believe a week ago. That came on and were just spamming like random nonsense. Just try not to do that. Like again, you guys are more than welcome to have your own conversations going on. That's totally fine. But if you guys start spamming like some weird stuff, that's not safe for work, we're gonna go ahead and have that deleted. And if you try to do that on our Discord too, we're gonna end up banning you as well, right? High Kappa, yeah. Yeah, we should have some high kappas available on here. I'm not going to search all the way through for our entire Tokyo Marui listing, but yeah, we should have TM high kappas available right now, actually. So, just saying. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, I think stock F2 plans to stock F2 Polestar engine or Gate Pulse Gate 2. Yes, we plan on stocking those. Again, it's just a matter of when our distributors can get them, and then we can get them. As soon as they can get them, we can get them as well. Okay, this one comes from Glenn Wade. Is there any good source to know what inner barrel info is if the actual manufacturer doesn't have it listed anywhere? I'm not too sure about the question. If you're looking for more info on the inner barrel itself, obviously we list inner barrels for sale as well. What length? Were you like hoping to know what type of... If your question was to figure out what length of inner barrel you need for your airsoft gun, you type in here. You can, the little hack, Unicorn Airsoft. Right, type in Unicorn Airsoft. You can go to pretty much any of their inner barrels that we have. Let's see here. Scroll next page. Right, go and click on any one of their inner. All these should have it, right? We actually made a list, a little chart that you guys can take a look at, so you guys know exactly what length you guys will need. Bear in mind, we're talking about like the millimeters, so like it can have a little bit of play as well. As far as the length itself, right? Like, if you're looking for a 1911 5.1 high kappa, they have that listed here. You can click on that, and that's going to give you the link to the Unicorn one. You can use that as a guide. Another thing that's like foolproof, just take out your inner barrel and just measure it out. Like, measure it out in inches and then convert that to millimeters, and that's exactly what size you need. And you can play around with that length too. It doesn't have to be 100% exact. Just measure the current inner barrel that you have and then go from there. That's like my best piece of advice. We actually go over that in detail. I actually hosted a video not too long ago, earlier this year, talking about the inner barrel lengths of airsoft guns and how to figure out what inner barrel length you need. All right, let's see here. And to go ahead and answer the earlier question, I believe it was from Dial Gra. Here's the high kappas, right? 4.3, the DOR 5.1. We have the standard 4.3 in like black and silver, and the standard 5.1. Those are currently available. If you're looking for the gold match, that one should be available like coming back soon. Just a matter of when. All right. Let's see. Make sure to answer more questions. I think there's some more that just caught up. Okay, yeah. Levi Shumway, he really wants me to say frog biscuits. I'll say it for you right now. I'm going to get real close. Frog biscuits. Cool. Please, guys, if you guys haven't already, make sure to go ahead and give a thumbs up to this live stream. Really helps us out. Really helps us beat that YouTube algorithm because YouTube really does not like us. So any and all support is really greatly appreciated. And make sure to go ahead and share this around with everyone you know that might be interested in Airsoft or just wants to know what Airsoft actually is. If that's a question, what is Airsoft? I'll answer it. I don't mind. Okay. And make sure to go ahead and put a letter Q in front of your question as well. That way, again, it makes it a lot easier for me to go ahead and ID it. Okay, let's see here. Also, to go ahead and go back as well, we actually have a blog that we posted out that I believe Cisco typed up, talking about the inner barrel length chart itself, right? So here's this big-ass chart. It's the same one that you'll be finding on the Unicorn Airsoft inner barrel descriptions. But yeah, it's right there available for you guys to check out if you guys want to know exactly what length that you would want, then go for there. And then, yeah, there's a link to the video that I hosted as well. All right, let's go back here. Let's see here. It is the Intercept SPR. Okay, any news on the E4 AK-12 by Arcturus? Not too sure what you're asking for specifically. As far as like a restock on those, again, it's just going to be a matter of like as soon as the manufacturer can get some in and the distributor can get some in, then we can go ahead and get them in as well. It really is just a matter of like, again, they're sold out. We just got to wait for them to get resupplied, and then they can resupply us. But we are going to be bringing those back in. Okay, let's see. This one comes from VVV Prince. Does the MGC4 Mark II Performance Plus model come with the unicorn barrel and buckings pre-installed? Yes, the Performance Plus model should come included with the inner barrels and the buckings. And if it's an AG, it should have the nub as well. That one, those should all be pre-installed as soon as you get them out of the box. Because I actually do the installation on a few of those as well. Let's see. Elvis Escobar asks, oh, this is a good one. How's the Arcturus AK-12PE? Oh, man. I love the Arcturus AK-12PE. That is, let's see, AK-12 Arcturus. There you go. Yeah, the Arcturus AK-12 is like already dope as is. I prefer even just a standard one. I prefer that one over the LCT one. However, the PE version is just, man, it's just so cool. Like, it is just so cool. I'm so sad that it's out of stock. We are going to get those in. We are going to be getting those restocked. It's just, just a matter of when. As soon as we can, our distributor can get resupplied, we can get those in as well. But, yes, the AK-12PE, oh, it's so good. It is so freaking good. I absolutely love that gun. Such a fast rate of fire. Nice and responsive trigger. It's just so cool, man. It's so cool. I love that gun so much. As soon as we get them back in, I would highly recommend picking one up. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Make sure I answered that one. Looks like we got a $2 donation from Restixit. Thank you for the $2 donation. If you guys want to go ahead and directly support the channel, we actually recommend shopping at Airsoft GI. Again, that's the most direct way to go ahead and support the channel. But again, much appreciated, dude. You do not have to do that. All right, any good outer barrels for Elite Force Glock 34? I believe Unicorn Airsoft actually has an outer barrel and maybe even a whole kit for the Glock 45 for Airsoft. There you go. Let's see, waiting for that to load. Gen 19. Gen 5. Airsoft. Let's see here. There's a lot of Unicorn Airsoft stuff in here. G19. Yep, there we go. Oh, wait, no, that's a hop chamber. Dang it. But they do have the hop chambers too available. So in case you wanted to replace that out as well, which I actually do recommend you do. That actually, it's a lot more secure, a lot more stable. 19, Glock 45. Yeah. There you go. There it is. It's going to be compatible with the 19X, the G45, the regular 19 Gen 4. This thing is dope, man. Like, honestly, all things considered, for $111, worth it. Hella worth it. Because not only are you getting a new outer barrel assembly, you're also getting an inner barrel and hop-up assembly as well. You're getting that all in one very inclusive, very convenient package. So if you were looking for stuff for your Glock 44 or Glock 45, highly recommend you pick that up. What's up?
So earlier there were people asking about the AK-12 PE.
Yeah.
I don't know if you recall this. The PE is the Prelude MOSFET.
Oh, the Perrin?
The Perrin?
Yeah.
So that might be a limited edition. Okay, that may be a limited edition run. So that's done. Okay.
Damn. Well,
but they do have the regular AK-12.
No, yeah, they have it as well. But like people were asking specifically about the PE.
The AK-12 is available.
Yeah. No, that one is really. It's available on our website right now, and I told them that I recommended it.
I'm guessing this is my.
Your guess. Your.
No, I'm guessing about this. There is a chance they may have a gate version, okay? Because they're working very close with gate.
Yeah.
Okay. So if they're waiting for the PE, chances are
might not.
Yeah, but there is a regular one.
Yep. There you go. There you guys go. Information right from there. All right. Let's see here. Rhythm comes from Ronald Hoover. Let a buddy shoot my LT Gen 3, and he flipped selector switch wrong way.
Okay.
Now.
The LT12, you can actually flip 360, and maybe, you know how there's a little selector in the little plate that might be broken, so you might need to take it apart.
Yeah. I guess it depends. If he bought it from us though, then I would normally recommend like reaching out to us so that we can get you taken care of. Again, you might still be covered under warranty, honestly, with that gun, because all the Gen 2 or Lance Tactical Gen 3s and Gen 2s come included with a 1-year warranty, so we can definitely help you out there. Yeah, it depends. All right, let's see. Make sure I'm listening. Answer that one. Let's see here. It's answered. Okay, this comes from Deal Gra. Another good question. Anything coming soon you're excited about in the GBB pistol market or high kappas you're excited to try? Currently, no high kappa or GBB pistols that I'm like super excited about. There something gas blowback that I am excited about has got to be the gas blowback 249, the gas powered one. That one piques my interests greatly, and I have a buddy that actually was able to come into possession of one, but he's going to be doing the QC for me, like, and kind of seeing how good it is and how reliable it is. And I'm just going to go from there, honestly. And it is probably going to be a matter of time before we actually start carrying it as well. That would be really dope. Okay, let's see. You're not missing anything. Eden, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, let's see. Make sure I'm not missing any more questions. Never let a friend touch your stuff. People love breaking stuff. Oh man, honestly, that does happen. Believe it or not, that actually reminds me, the very first like Springer pistol that I ever owned. I was super proud of it. Right? Obviously, it's a shitty Springer. Like, what the fuck, right? Whatever, right? But to me, as a kid that didn't have like a legit full-time job, didn't have a whole lot of money when I was in high school, you know, that was a point of pride for me. That was my sidearm, right? And I still got like kills with that thing. But the minute that my friend hands it to me, he's like, "Oh, let me see." Rex slide back, tries to shoot it, freaking shoots, but the slide just breaks off. It like snaps. I was pissed. He didn't even do anything wrong necessarily. It's just bad luck, right? It very well could have been me that I shot next and it just broke. But man, but it is fun to see the reaction. I will say it is very fun to see the reaction when they first start playing and they've never shot an airsoft gun before. I love seeing how they react. Even with my fiance, right? Like, I love showing her my airsoft guns. I'm like, here, pull the trigger, try to shoot, right? And she's like really scared of it, but sometimes she'll actually get really into it. She's like, die, and she's just like spamming the trigger. So very cute to see. Goofy asks, hello, I have a Q. What is your opinion of the G&G SSG-1? I'm kind of impartial to it. Like, at the end of the day, in my opinion, it is just a combat machine in my eyes. Obviously, I know there are some differences. I think it's a really cool gun if you were looking for that sort of paintball aesthetic, or if you come from a paintball background and you were looking for a gun that's going to be an easy transition over to airsoft. I think the SSG-1 does a really, really good job. It's unique. It's kind of cool looking, but again, it's just not my style. I think there are better guns, honestly, in my opinion, for that price point, really. But again, that's just me, but I got nothing against it. I got nothing against them. I like G&G stuff. I actually used to be a really big G&G fanboy back in the day. Okay, make sure I'm not missing anything. Make sure. Okay. Flower Flame. As a casual player, should I make any internal upgrades to my Lancer Gen 3? Flower Flame, you can. It's definitely a possibility. It is a fully upgradable gearbox, and the gun can take upgrades. However, you don't really need to, especially as a casual player. The gun is solid as fuck, dude. Like, that is one of the better performing like guns out of the box that you can get, really. Like, it's got the range, right? It's got the accuracy. It has the reliability, and it's super lightweight. Like, there's really nothing you have to do with it. The only thing I would say, maybe for me, I'd probably change out like this is an external upgrade. Would probably change out the stock for something that has a little bit more battery space. That's probably the only thing I would do, because again, if you want to run a bigger battery, it helps to have a lot more space. But for internals, maybe swap out the inner barrel, because it already has a 603 Type bore, but it's not a stainless one. Maybe swap out the 603 Type bore that you get out of the box for a unicorn one, so that way you get the bucking and you get a hop-up nub. Because again, with that swap alone, you're looking at like R-hop levels of like consistency. It's super fucking consistent, right? Love the performance you get out of the unicorn barrels. Swap that out for that, and you're done. Like, that would be the only thing I would honestly say that you would need to go ahead and swap out. Okay, let's see here. All right, buying it now. Look, thanks for Toronto, and my go-to shop got the thanks, brother. All right, cool. Okay, this comes from Alvin11. Isaias, you got me interested in the KW LM4 GVR. What's up with the mags being out of stock? Just people buy them. Here's the thing when it comes to the magazines. The magazines themselves don't hold a lot of BBs, right, Alvin? So, again, you got to think as a shopper, right? You're like, they don't hold that much. I should probably stock up on magazines. So people are just going to buy magazines. So that's why when we do get them in stock, when they are available, I always recommend buy in, like, large quantities. Buy, like, 4 or 5 at a time, right? They can be a little pricey, but with the discount codes that we got going on, honestly, always worth it. Always worth it, because then you'll always have magazines. Okay, let's see here. V Prince, is the KWA LM4 any good? It appears to be really good. Value for the GVR. Everything on paper was good. We'd be a communist country. No, I mean, it's fair point. But no, like I genuinely do like the KWA LM4. I noticed that when I hear granted, this is coming from in store. This is just something I noticed. You guys might be different, and you guys are more than entitled to your own opinion. That's totally fine if you have your preferences. However, I will say that the people that usually don't like a lot of the KWA LM4s, like specifically the KWA gas system, are usually guys that don't like to clean their guns. And even when they swap over to a different platform, they usually encounter some issues as well that you didn't encounter with the LM4 series or with any of the KWA gas guns. All gas guns, no matter what brand you buy, are going to require, a bit of maintenance. They're going to require some know-how to properly strip down and then clean, because you will get problems with your gas blowback if you don't clean it. That's no one's fault but your own at the end of the day. If you're not being responsible enough with your gun, then it's going to give you problems, right? And no one wants that. So always take care of your gas guns, and they'll take care of you. And there are upgrade parts for it too. And even the newer version, the LM4D system, fucking improves on the hop system, which was the only kind of room for improvement that the LM4, the original run, needed. Was just a little bit more work on the hop chamber, but it wasn't bad. It works. The LM4D improves it. So I'm very impressed with the LM4D and the improvements that they've made so far, and it's a solid system that doesn't require a whole lot of work to get. Because here's the problem: you can go with brands like WeTech, and their AKs are pretty good. But when it came to some of their other platforms, I did notice that they weren't the most efficient, and they did need a little bit of work in order for them to be truly reliable, if that makes any sort of sense, right? The LM4 and any of the gas guns from KWA seem to be the only ones that are great out of the box when it comes to the rifles. I'm not the biggest KWA or fan when it comes to KWA pistols. I think some of them are good, but again, the fact that there's not a whole lot, or they're not as upgrade, or they're not as interchangeable with aftermarket parts. They're a little bit pickier with parts. That is kind of a problem for me personally, but people run them. They're good. They're good. Okay. Levi Shumway McLaren asks, what is your favorite color? Depends on my mood. I usually tell people rainbow is my favorite color because genuinely cannot decide sometimes. But if I had to pick, it's usually either red or blue, and sometimes if I'm feeling in between, I just go purple. Because purple is actually one of my favorite accent colors to get. All right, let's see here. Question: what is your okay, this comes from Reaper Airsoft. That was a good question. Isaiah. What is your favorite Milsim loadout, guns, and equipment? I was gonna sound weird, but it really does depend on my mood. Okay, so for every Milsim game that I go to, sometimes my go-to loadout is typically going as a support gunner, right? I'm usually the support class, if you will. I go as an LMG user, or I'll use an MMG, right? Sometimes I will go as a DMR. One time I went as a DMR, and I do plan on going again as a DMR. I don't often go as a standard rifleman. I will play the part if I have to, right? If someone's borrowing my 249 at the moment back at base and we're on patrol, and I'll use my regular rifle. But usually for my loadout, I usually like to keep it simple, right? So my go-to is usually rocking some type of LMG, most likely my 249, my Mark 46. I rock that guy. I usually will have just some type of simple chest rig, right, to just wear on top, just to carry additional magazines, because the 249, if you guys didn't know that, 249 actually can take regular M4 magazines. So I'll have maybe 2 or 3 mid caps on me. I will usually carry maybe an additional box mag in case the current nutsack mag that I'm using breaks. I have a spare, so in case it breaks or I have issues, I can always swap it out. Though honestly, my box mag that I have is pretty good. I don't ever really have to swap that out. I do carry extra tools on me. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, we'll get grenades. But it's not always just on me because they are a little pricey. And then some food. I'll usually have some type of snack on me, maybe a protein bar, right? Maybe I'll have just tucked away a peanut butter sandwich that I have in a Ziploc bag that I tucked away in my pack or something. But that's usually about it. Sometimes I will rock a plate carrier if I'm in the mood for it. But honestly, when I do Milsim events, I also have to ruck gear, enough food and water for 3 days, and then change of clothes if I have to, or extra parts, and I have to carry that in my rucksack. In addition to all my gear, sometimes I hate rocking a rucksack with a backpack. I feel like it's pretty annoying. It gets real bulky and cumbersome, especially if I'm taking fire during the initial walk off, right? If I'm stepping off and I'm trying to get to the PB, it's annoying to have to carry all that shit. So minimalizing it to a chest rig, and then like my rucksack makes it that much more comfortable. I highly recommend going the chest rig route if you guys don't already. Okay, let's see here. Answered that one. Okay, I think we're good on that one. Let's go ahead and get caught up on questions. Okay. Ronald Hoover, thank you. We'll probably crack at it tonight, tomorrow, or find out what's going on with it. Yeah, Ronald, if you want to go ahead and crack it open yourself and see what's going on, I highly recommend it. But I also recommend checking out our YouTube videos on disassemblies of the of AEG's version 2 gearboxes. It helps to have that if you haven't done it already, just to have a guide to go along with it. Okay, Eli Red asks, can you run heavyweight BBs in the MGC4 Mark II and use it for a DMR? Because I play outside with my friends and we just go up in the forest. So okay, I guess it depends on what you define as a DMR. If you were just trying to rock it as a semi-only build, yeah, you can run heavyweight BBs into it. Depends on how heavy though. Personally, I would not use anything heavy, just for performance sake. I wouldn't use anything heavier than a 3.2. 3.2 would be like my absolute max that I'd use on that guy, on the MGC4 Mark II. But I mean, you can theoretically run heavier, but you're gonna really have to adjust that hop in order for it to like get it to work, right? Usually I say, like, if you're playing outdoors, 2.5 is going to be your bare minimum. 2.8s are solid, or even a 3.0. A 3.2 is probably okay, but you are pushing it. I'll say that. I know Boaz, when he likes to test airsoft guns, whenever they do their shooting tests out on in the range, they usually test it with a heavier weight BB, and they still can reach their target. So it can like lift the 3.2s, but I would say don't go above that. Personally, usually go for like a DMR platform. They usually, again, if we're talking about actual fields, they'll define a DMR as something that is semi-only, it's semi-locked, right, and shoots at a higher FPS, but the trade-off is that you get a much further minimum engagement distance. So instead of it being like 10 feet, maybe even 50 feet, it'll be like 100 feet sometimes, depending on where you play. So you have to carry a sidearm on you if you want to shoot someone up close, right? So if you're just playing out in the forest, you can use it as a longer range to complement your longer range play style, if that's what you want to go with. Absolutely, you can. Okay, Alvin 11, restock please. Yes, Alvin, we will be getting restocked. Again, it's just a matter of when distributors can get stuff, we can get stuff. Let's see here. Ronald Hoover, he's definitely brought my friend 7.0 Dragon, and it fired once, then stopped working, but that was a lubrication issue. But he is definitely done shooting my stuff. Dude, no, I feel that. That's hilarious. Give it to your friend one time. That's all it takes, and they fucking break it, like, or just some shit happens, right? Even if it wasn't technically their fault, it just happened to happen when they shot it. It's like, all right, I'm a little skeptical of you shooting my shit from now on. Let's see here. Jose Estrada, when's the next BB War? Next BB Wars event, I believe, is going to be happening this October, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's going to be happening in SoCal again in October at SC Village. We just have to go ahead and finalize some information. But BB Wars East, still waiting for more word on that. Again, as soon as we get more word on that front, something develops, we'll go ahead and make sure that everyone knows about it. Everyone on our Discord server knows about it. Everyone on our Instagram, Facebook, everyone's going to be notified as soon as we find out what's going on there. And the bad part, all of my friends are 35 plus years old. It's not like they're kids. Oh no. I mean, shit happens. You never know. Okay. Never let a friend touch your stuff. Yep. I can't agree with that. Okay, I think we're caught up on those. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the most recent ones. Okay, tactical best multi-cam plate carrier. It depends really on what you define as. Here's my thing. There's no such thing as like the best necessarily, unless we're talking about the MG4 Mark II. Then in that case, that thing is the fucking best. But even then, right? Like, that gun might not fit what you are looking for, right? It's the same thing with tactical gear, right? It might be a very, very good plate carrier that's variable in many different colors or patterns, including multicam, but it might not suit every single need, if that makes any sort of sense, right? Again, like I said before, I do a lot of like Milsim events, right, where it's a long days of play. It's a 48-hour non-stop airsoft event that starts Friday night and ends Sunday midday, right? So I need gear that's going to be lightweight and comfortable. Might be able to have a lot of utility with it. I need to be able to have a decent amount of pockets for like tools and shit. But if I were to run a plate carrier, it might not actually be the most comfortable, especially for longer periods of time. So it really depends on your play style, what you're hoping to do with it. But if you're looking for a good recommendation for a plate carrier, one of my favorite ones, let's see here. If you look at like for my plate carrier, for example, fly, medium, speed. Okay. I usually rock the fly medium speed plate carrier. I believe that one's currently sold out, but we should be getting a restock on that. Yeah. Yeah, this is typically the plate carrier that I normally go with. I'd show it off on stream, but I have it at home right now. But typically, I rock something like this. There are plenty of other plate carriers, honestly, that you can get that are also available in like either the Scorpion or multicam patterns as well. Simply go to tactical gear, go to plate carriers, click on that, and there's a ton that are available right now. Again, like you just gotta figure out which one. This one's actually pretty cool. I like this one. Yeah. Got the Velcro up in the front. I think it's pretty damn cool. So you can swap out the different like placards, right? See whichever like loadout you want to go with. There are other versions as well. Let's see here. You can go with one of these guys, right? If you want something a little more solid that already has the placard, and it has kind of like their own version of like the Swift clip system. So you just like unclip that, take off the panel, and then you can swap it out with another one, and you have a different loadout as well. That's another cool plate carrier I recommend. And 4350, that is actually really, really solid. Actually, if you use coupon code GEAR, you're gonna be getting 20% off that plate carrier too. Just saying, just throwing that out there. Get yourself chances of winning the shopping spree giveaway for $1,200. All right, let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Make sure I don't miss anything. Plate carrier. Let's see. Mark Popejoy, LM4 mag restock. We will be getting that in as soon as our distributor can get some more. We're going to be getting some more too. We try to make it a point to make sure we always have LM4 magazines. We just got to wait for them to come back in. Let's see. My matrix jack's not working. I currently replaced it with the motor grip and wondered if I messed up the wiring, but I'm not sure. It worked before, and I know my battery is good. Any thoughts? Usually for something like that, I think we would need a little bit more details on the issues you're getting. I would say contact us, like DM us directly. You can either DM us on Instagram, Facebook, or our Discord server. Just message us the Airsoft GI account directly, and we can actually get you taken care of. Yeah, we can troubleshoot it with you. That comes from Liam Smith. We can definitely help you out, bro. But we would need a little more details, and just to make sure that I'm not missing anyone else's questions or comments, I would say just DM us directly. Use this here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, Tactical asks, what's the best bucking? Huh. I mean, I guess this depends. Like, everyone's going to have their own opinions on what they think the best bucking is. I know that there are, like, diehard fans of, like, the G&G green bucking. And don't get me wrong, that is a solid bucking, right? It's cool. It's good. It's solid. And it can lift. Like, it's good, a good way to BBs, right? However, I think my opinion, oh, good. Honestly, I gotta say it. Like, I think the one you get in the Unicorn, or the Unicorn Airsoft bucking, I think is probably one of the better ones, honestly. Because I mean, you pair that off with the hop-up nub that you get and the inner barrel in that 3-in-1 like combo, right? That AEG inner barrel and bucking combo. You're gonna be getting like solid performance, right? That should be. I'm gonna be real. It should be way more expensive than what we're actually selling it for. I'm just saying, like, it is fucking good. Okay, let's see here. This one comes from Kyle Hammonds. Hey, what's going on, bro? Thoughts on the Echo 1 Cyclops pistol? It looks like it has a cut to install a red dot, or am I wrong? Echo 1 Cyclops. Let's actually, I don't remember, actually. Let's take a look. Echo 1 Cyclops. Echo 1 Cyclops. Oh, that is a terrible picture. I believe... Oh, God, that's a very difficult picture to see. I believe you would be able to, from what I can tell on the Cyclops. I'd have to go in and take a closer look. It looks a little off, though. I'm not too sure what footprint that is. Yeah, I'd have to go in and take a closer look and see what... Maybe the black one's a little bit easier to see. I don't think so as is. Again, I'm not too sure what footprint that's following, like what that cutout is, if that's even compatible with other stuff. I'd have to go and take a closer look. I don't think so, though. I haven't seen anyone like been able to mount a red dot on there. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I just personally haven't seen it. Let's see here. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Answered that question already. All right, let's see here. Okay, this one comes from Trace Heileman. What length M203 fits flush with the tip of the HK416A5? Sitting flush? Oh, God. Let's see, M203. Let's see here. Usually, I would say for like the 416s, usually I'd say go for like the shorter 203s, like the stubby ones, like let's say M203. Like I feel like if you were to go for something like this, like at this length right now, this one would actually be maybe a little long because I believe these are supposed to be paired off with like your traditional M4A1 carbine. But if you're trying to like just mount that onto a 416A5, you'd want the Picatinny like obviously like mount for it. But I would probably say go with like obviously this one is going to be meant for like again the direct barrel like clamp essentially because it goes mounts onto the barrel and not the rail system. But this length is typically what I would suggest you go with, the shorter one. That would sit a little bit more flush. I don't think it's going to be perfect though, Trace Hillman. I don't think it's going to be exactly. Okay, let's see here. Jim the Med Viking, better to buy or build ghillie suit? I think personally, I think it's better to build it if I'm being serious. Like ghillie suits like are supposed to be, it's not supposed to be like a once time like ghillie suit that you use for every single situation, right? Because foliage from different parts of the world can be very different. Some leaves are going to look a little bit different or are going to be a different color, or even a different environment altogether, right? Someone actually brought up the idea, like, what if you made a ghillie suit disguised trash, and that was your trash suit, right? If you're in, like, an urban environment that's like George Air Force Base, for example, for anyone that's been there, you guys know that place is fucking filthy. That place is disgusting. That place is going to kill you, right? But, if you made, like, a whole, like, debris kind of ghillie suit full of, like, trash, maybe some water bottles on there, that would actually blend in very, very well, right? In an urban environment. That would be very, very cool to see. I think personally building it for that specific environment is going to be imperative. Like build it with the mindset that this is for this environment. Now, if it happens to share the same foliage, same undergrowth, same environment overall, then I would say, yeah, you can, there's a little bit of crossplay there. But usually I say build it, but have a ghillie suit built for whatever type of situation or environment you find yourself fighting in, if that makes any sort of sense. And that can apply to real steel as well. Like if you're trying to make a ghillie suit for actual combat use, like I would say making it would probably be the best. Obviously, just put the time and energy into it. Don't be lazy when it comes to building that. You're talking about camouflage here at the end of the day. Let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, I have a question. What do you think is the best first budget gun? This one comes from Eli Collins. I feel like I've seen you before in the streams, man. If so, good to see you again. Good to hear back from you. Eli Collins, to answer your question, best first budget gun. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to what is your budget, right? Again, I think I answered the similar question earlier, but what I suggest for your budget for your first AEG or first airsoft gun period is usually going to be a budget anywhere from about $150. Oh, knock that out of the way. $150 to about $250, right? There are a lot of solid platforms and guns that you can get within that price point. It just depends on what you think actually looks cool, what you want to invest in. Now, personally, obviously, this goes without saying, but I should probably mention it just in case, if I haven't already. When getting your first AEG, your first airsoft gun, make sure that you are getting, again, highly recommend you get an AEG. It's going to be a lot easier, a lot less maintenance comparatively if we're talking to about gas blowbacks, right? AEGs are going to require a lot less maintenance. I do feel like they have higher tolerances to an extent. They're a lot more forgiving towards newer players. I'll say that, right? For that, I would also recommend you stick with the AR-15, the M4, the M16 platform itself, because that platform has the version 2 gearbox, right? That is the most common gearbox that you will find on the airsoft market, meaning that upgrade parts, replacement components are going to be readily available. We sell a ton of replacement parts available on our website, right? So you can, if something breaks, you can always upgrade it later on, right? Which is a good thing to know. That's what you want for your first airsoft gun. It's going to be your first time. Eventually, at some point, you're going to break something. And when that does eventually happen, it's important to be able to go ahead and find the parts that you need, because nothing sucks more. And ask me how I know. Nothing sucks more than buying a gun, right? Like, all right, cool, I'm stoked on this airsoft gun. It breaks, especially if it's sooner than later, and you can't find the replacement parts. You're screwed. You're out of an airsoft gun, right? Freaking sucks. So get something that's non-proprietary, very easy to find, and install upgrade parts into. That's going to be my best recommendation. Now, if you're looking for specific models, I usually recommend this a lot, but I love it. Probably the LT31. Gen 2, this is basically a pre-built Mark 18, right? It's already got the correct style, like rail system on there that kind of looks very similar to the DD Mark 18 rail. It's already got the correct barrel length. It is going to be using a metal rail system while the receiver is going to be polymer, so it's very lightweight. Plenty of battery space. You actually do get a battery and charger right out of the box, so you're covered in that front as well. It comes included with a really sick mid-cap magazine. And for $209, again, very, very affordable, very nice. This is going to be using the standard Gen 2 internal, so 603 Type 4 barrel, rotary style hop chamber, quick change spring system. So if you wanted to bring this to, let's say, it's currently shooting at what, 375? Yeah, 370 to 390 FPS, so good for outdoors. But if you wanted to swap out the spring for a lower FPS spring so you can shoot at the lower FPS, yeah, absolutely. It's very easy to do. Even as a beginner, you watch one video or watch one person do it in front of you for just like once, you can do it. Like, it's actually a very simple process. And you can get it even cheaper when you use coupon code 20, so you can get 10% off your purchase. That is a big brain move right there. Get this even cheaper? Hell yeah. All right. Okay, let's see here. Airsoft shooter 2. Okay, let's make sure I'm not missing any more questions. All right, cool. Make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, cool. What do you think of the Dig Pro Force M17? Or I think you mean the SIG, yeah, SIG Pro Force M17 CO cartridge. I actually like the M17s. I think the M17s are a really cool gun, actually. I actually have one that's kind of a Frankenstein build. Justin actually builds those. Our storefront employee, Justin, he actually has a few of those, and he gave me one here. This is just a Frankenstein one. No, I have no issues with the M17. I think I like the M18 a little bit more, just because it's compact. But the M17 is a fucking cool gun. I remember when Boaz brought his out to Milsom West, he actually had the CO2 one as well. The CO2 does put a little bit more stress on the internals. However, it does work. You can get the OEM components if you need to swap out anything. You can definitely get those aftermarket as well. Honestly, I think they're cool. If you're looking for something that's going to break the norm of your standard high Kappa, your standard 1911, then yeah, I would say go for the M17. It's a really, really cool gun. And I think the CO2 is really cool. That shit can reach. That thing has reach, man. It's got range. It may not be super, super accurate, obviously, but having that CO2, especially if you're playing at a Milsim event, right, and you need that little extra bit of power sometimes can be helpful. Okay, let's see here. We're going to get the Lancer Gen 3 Leafs Fan 8 or 8034. That's another good question. The Gen 3s, yeah. If you were interested in getting a Gen 3, man, I'd say go for it. Why not? The Gen 3s are going to be everything that the Gen 2 did right, and then some, right? So full polymer. Here, let's pull them up. Let's pull them up so you guys can see. AGs, Gen 3. There you go. Yep. Right. There are a ton. First of all, let's address the elephant in the room. There's a fuck ton of them. There's a literal fuck ton of variations that you can get of the Gen 3, right? And even the models themselves have variations. Let's say you wanted to get an LT31. There are so many different versions of the LT31, right? So many different lengths, so many different styles. We even have packages, combo deals for them as well, where you can get packs of magazines with the gun. Again, really depends on what you're looking for. But I would say, yeah, they are 100% worth it. And there's different styles to suit your needs. I love the pre-installed Nebula MOSFET you get out of the box. Again, that's giving you so many features out of the box for a very, very a very fair and attainable price point, right? Because all the Gen 3s, for the most part, should all be under $300, right? Obviously, the packages are going to be a little bit more because you're getting more stuff out of them. But if you're just talking about base guns, yeah, $230 is generally the average price for a Gen 3, which is really, really good. A lot of them are actually under that too. So I would say, yeah, definitely worth it. Definitely worth checking out at the very least. But if you want one, I'd say, yeah, go for it. And you get a 1-year warranty. It's fucking cool. All right, let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Dial, grow teams. I just want some advice. I'm getting into airsoft. I need the best priced high kappa pistol. Do you mind showing me one? Deal Gra. So yes. So I see your comment, right? All these other high kappas aren't 100% compatible. Well, that can apply to Tokyo Marui itself as well. Even within the Tokyo Marui high kappa itself, if you were looking at upgrade components, right? Not all the aftermarket support items or aftermarket upgrade components that are available on the market, not all of them are going to be 100% easy drop-in. A lot of them are. But even then, like not all of them are going to be just 100% drop-in. There is always going to be a level of fitment that is required when working with high kappas. We know because we've actually made custom high kappas before, and we've used the TM base a couple of times, and even then, like there was still fitment that was required when you're talking about like Airsoft Masterpiece components, maybe even some cow stuff. There was always a little bit of level of play that needed to be had with the guns, and it just sometimes they were too tight. Whether it be the blowback housing unit, right? Whether that be the slide, maybe even the frame itself, right? There was always a little bit of work that needed to be done in order to get those parts to fit, even on a TM, right? And you can ask Cisco or any one of the other guys here that rocks TM. They have the same problem too, just like any other brands. When it comes to magazines, most of them, if they are like TM spec, they are going to work. Obviously, some work better than others. But I would say, honestly, if Eli Collins, if you wanted to get yourself like a high kappa, for example, there is nothing wrong with going another brand outside of TM. You can get a Tokimuri if you really want to, but I will say this to anyone that runs a Tokimuri high kappa, right? And you always get a bunch of different varying answers, some more than others. But take a look at your high kappa that you have currently right now. If you do build them out, what percentage of your gun is even TM anymore? Maybe the frame, right? If it's like a really done up custom, what percentage of your gun even is TM anymore? That's always something question, and I always get a bunch of mixed responses. Like a lot of guys, but the average is just the frame, right? And that's usually about it, right? At that point, do you even have a Tokimuri high kappa anymore? I'm just saying, right? Like you can very well get something like if you want like the actual best performance, talking about performance only, high kappa, then you got to go with the Pit Viper. That there's just no other word for it, right? Get the Pit Viper. The Jag Arms Terran Tactical Innovations Pit Viper is the best performing high kappa right out of the box, right? It's so buttery smooth, right? Solid air compression. It's beautifully done. Like it is absolutely like high quality, and you can feel it from the minute that you grab it in your hands, right? And again, if you're a fan of the John Wick series, there you go. Even a triple entendre, or a triple whammy, if you will. I love the stippled grip that you get, full metal construction throughout, fiber front sight, and again, I think it's a very well done pistol. And if you're not a big fan of the Pit Viper itself, guess what? You can also get other Terran Tactical Innovations pistols, right? They also have like the Sand Viper. That one's coming soon. You do have the Alpha as well. And there's also available in Performance Plus packages where we swap out the inner barrel and the bucking for you, right? Again, there are options. If you liked it, and that's not to say, no, that's not shitting on the Tokimuri platform itself. It did set the standard, right? It definitely set the standard for every other company to go ahead and make their own, right? And everyone, for the most part, has been copying with adding maybe one or two like upgrades or changes to the design. But overall, it's been about the same. But just because it's the original doesn't always make it the best. I will just leave it at that, right? Tactical, same. I play Milsim. Hey, same, man. But it's like an hour. Yeah, if you've ever done like those like multi-day like events, I highly if you're ever considered doing it, I highly recommend it. They're super fun. Okay, let's see here. Am just here for the queso act, right? Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support, bro. Okay, MOSQA asks, can you pass over the word to Bossman to stock the VFC M249 GBB? Many people are searching for it in the US. Yes, we will be trying to get those M249 gas blowbacks because I'm very interested in that as well. That's something like one of the guns that like I've been really interested in, and I want to be able to go ahead and bring it. Believe me, as soon as we have it listed on our website, you bet your ass I'm gonna be like posting that on every single social media platform, like every single one of them, just blasting, hey guys, guess what we got in? Guess what we got in? And we are going to be doing videos on that as well. You can bet that we're going to be doing a review on that if we get those in. We start carrying them. We are 100% going to go ahead and do like a main channel review on that. Like we have to. There's no excuse for that. We have to. All right, let's see here. Just make sure I'm not missing any question. Make sure. Okay, I think we should be caught up on most of the questions. Okay, here's a good one. Tactical asks, what do you think about speed softer who are not tactical? Oh, okay, tactical. I get it because you're a Milsim player like me. Okay, so at the end of it, this is what I'll say to anyone that likes to go into those labels, and sometimes I will too, but I do it like jokingly. But at the end of the day, and to quote Frank, right? Frank was the owner of where the field, U.S. Airsoft Field, where we hosted the last SoCal BB Wars event, right? It was a very cool field. I love the community that they had out there was absolutely amazing. For anyone that went out to BB Wars with us, right? Like Ackright, Darktree, Brewer, Real Wild. High Fidelity, Chef Panikage, Trinity. When you guys came out with us, like, you guys know that the vibes at those fields were just on point, man. They were fucking cool, and it's all due in part to the mentality of the owner, right? And he hammers this with all of his refs too. At the end of the day, we are all, no matter what type of airsofter you are, we are all playing a glorified game of tag. That is all airsoft is, right? And I absolutely love that mindset because it eliminates the sort of labels that we like to throw on, right? Like milsim, speed QB, casual, right? It doesn't matter. We're all playing the same game. Yeah, maybe some different variation of it or a different mentality, right? But again, just having that mindset of we're all playing the same game, right? We're all airsofters, right? When the regulations were coming in for airsoft, right? When that whole like situation was going down, it didn't matter if you were a speed QB player, it didn't matter if you were a milsimmer, it didn't matter if you were just a weekend warrior, right? Just playing on the weekends. It did not matter. No one gave a fuck, right? All we needed was everyone supported, everyone united under one airsoft banner. And that was the ultimate goal, like to get those regulations pushed back, right? So that's how way I see it. There are pros and cons with going with either style of play, right? A lot of the quote-unquote milsimmers, right, you throw them into an indoor setting, and a lot of them aren't going to be the best, right? A lot of them aren't going to be the best at clearing, or a lot of them are just going to be a little too slow. And I get it, you're trying to be more methodical, and I understand that there are some real-world reasons as to why you would do it that way. But I highly recommend, if you haven't already, check out like a legit Speed QB match. Just look up on YouTube like a Speed QB tournament match or whatever, right? Or even Jungle Ball if you N1. I got you guys. Check out like an actual like Speed QB style like tournament or match, and you will be surprised at the level of skill that these guys have. I know we always like say like, oh, there's no skill, they're just going around shooting whatever. No, they're actually in an actual professional setting. They are communicating as a team, giving proper call outs, working with each other, and a lot of these guys have been practicing with each other, so they know each other's movements, right? But their movements are so fast, their ability to clear is almost unrivaled, right? A lot of guys on my personal team that Boaz and I play on for Milsim games, a lot of the guys actually used to play Speed QB, like actual like on teams and compete in tournaments, and you can tell from the way they play and the way they move and how they clear, they're so much faster and they're so much more efficient. And a lot of them will end up like teaching us some strategies as well. And we'll kind of workshop ways on how we can more efficiently clear out a building or clear out a room, for example. There's a lot of good stuff to be had on both sides. Both sides. Doesn't matter whether you're playing Milsim or Speed QB. I don't enjoy when I see Milsimmers like kind of shit talking like Speed Soft players or Speed Softers. And the other way around, right? I know I always hear it whenever a speed softer or someone indoors, right? Just a shitty player. I'm not even going to use that term. Whenever a shitty player likes to shit talk the other side, right? Whether it's, oh, milsimmers are just, fat, lazy, super slow players. They don't have any skill. Or versus, the other way around. Oh, the speed QB players are just toxic as all hell. Like they're cancer on airsoft. No. First of all, no. And shame on you if you've ever said anything like that. Like, and haven't been able to go ahead and come to terms with that, right? Like if I'm not gonna lie, I used to think the same way when I first started out, but I stopped that mentality real quick and I realized the validity in their form of play. And again, there's great stuff to have on both sides. All right, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Right. I'm also gonna need some of them TM Saiga 12 mags when they become available. Will ASGI be stocking them? I hope so. I hope we would be carrying the magazines for those as well. Because bear in mind, if it were up to me, guys, we'd be carrying everything, like literally everything. But again, we're just gonna have to wait and see on what we can actually go ahead and get. Okay, I believe, yeah, Ackroyd, amazing field and great stuff, dude. Yeah, that field was absolutely amazing. That is a memory that I'm never going to, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. That's a memory that I'm never ever going to forget. Like ever. I feel very grateful that I had the opportunity to go to BB Wars SoCal. The first BB Wars SoCal to be held in SoCal in fucking years. All right, guys, that about wraps it up for the stream right now that I have going. If you have a question that you just thought of, or you asked a question earlier and I wasn't able to get to it, feel free to go ahead and ask it during tonight's live stream that I have going on as well. The No Flight List live stream going down at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on our main YouTube channel, just like this. You don't want to miss out. We're actually going to be getting giving away some exclusive exclusive opportunities to get your entries or get higher entries into the shopping spree giveaway. Get more of a chance. Again, we want to go ahead and give back to the community. So again, if you guys have any further questions, make sure to go ahead and ask them in the later live stream, in the No Flight Left live stream. My name is Isaias, and I will see you guys all on the next one. And for whatever reason, if you want to go ahead and ask me something more directly, feel free to go ahead and DM us on our Instagram, Facebook, or our Discord server. We will happily get you guys all taken care of. My name is Isaias, and I will see